Hello, my Sagittarius friends. This is Kristen Redman, and today we are going to go over those planetary aspects that are going to be making the most impact for you in this upcoming positive year of 2017. This year is going to be focusing a lot on Jupiter and Libra, balancing the scales, bringing a supportive network into your life that's going to help propel things for you in terms of your life goals, your purpose, and what it is you're here to do with your fiery Sagittarius self, okay? Helping to expand the horizons of others and manifest your dreams in the process, okay? This year is also about self-mastery as Saturn moves out of your sign finally after it's been there since 2014, kind of limiting you, restricting you, but ultimately leading to these new levels of understanding within yourself and leading into a new phase like you haven't seen in 30 years in terms of maturity and change and structures. Okay. And another thing too is that it focuses on the long-term goals. 2017 is a year for you focusing on not just the here and now and what brings you happiness now, but for the entire lifetime here. We're looking ahead and we're setting goals for the future. So let's get right into it here, Sagittarius. Let's start with your money for 2017. This is going to be the least active sector for you in 2017 because I think it's more about focusing on self-empowerment, finding things within yourself, building structures for yourself, which ultimately leads to the money coming in 2018. Doesn't mean the money isn't coming in at all, because the more maturity that you're getting through with the Saturn leaving your sign at the end of the year, that ultimately leads to money. But the main thing I'm looking at it with Saturn is that it likes to set boundaries. Okay, so this year it's about better taking control of your finances. I think the money's there for you, Sagittarius, but it's a matter of maybe spending too much. You got to remember, you're ruled by Jupiter, okay? And Jupiter likes to overdo things at times, so sometimes it likes to overspend its money. And I think this year that gets pulled in. The reins really get pulled in because you recognize that. And just by that alone, you're already going to be making more money, okay, because you're not spending as much. And you'll see that more so this year. You're going to be taking stock of that a lot more. January, February is going to be the most fruitful time for you in terms of money increase this year. That really started at mid December last year, as Mercury moved through Capricorn, then it went retrograde, and then back again into Capricorn. That is the time frame when money really started rocking and rolling, and it will continue to do so. And in that time frame as well, because we've got Mercury, the planet of thought, and in Capricorn, the sign that's ruled by that Saturn that sets the boundaries and structures, a lot of devising of financial plans. You're really starting to think about, how am I going to save this, spend this, allocate this, invest this. Pay attention to those things. Okay, Mercury, the planet of thoughts, working with you very well, Sagittarius, because it understands where Saturn is at and what it's trying to do to better stabilize your future in terms of financial goals. And next year, the money's going to come in even more to save, more to build on, right? Okay. A lot of second chances, too, with missed opportunities, by the way, that is in this time frame of January and February. Like, let's say something happened in December, holidays came up, you weren't able to do something to make this extra money, you weren't able to get these clients in to get money, whatever. A lot of second chances are going to be coming through for you to make up for that money as well. Okay, so keep an eye out for those. Next thing we're going to move on to, Sagittarius, is the home for 2017. What's going on home-wise for you this year? A lot. Let me tell you why. Because this is the most active area of your chart for this year. The eclipses that happen in a year, there's 4 of them that occur, and they always indicate where there's going to be major changes, where there's adjustments, where the light needs to be shined, and some things need to come out, and changes need to be made. New beginnings need to come. And these are going to be happening in your house of home and family this year, okay? So you may find that you're going to be moving. You may be finding that you're renovating, updating, upgrading your living situation. There may be a shakeup that occurs in your home life, and you may have to do that unexpectedly, because you have to keep in mind Jupiter is your ruling planet, okay, is in opposition with Uranus this year. This started at the end of 2016, just before the ball dropped on New Year's Eve, and it's going to be carrying through the rest of this year. And what Uranus does is it brings us things unexpectedly. It does it, you don't get warning with Uranus, okay? It can bring us brilliant, new, wonderful things, but it can also create a lot of chaos in our lives. And when it's in opposition with your Jupiter planet that likes to grow things and expand things, sometimes those events are magnified. And sometimes those unexpected surprises are really big and they're really a terrible timing. But remember that the universe is working behind it purposely to kind of push you beyond those bounds and get you to where you need to go. So expect there could be some changes, okay? Major changes 2 weeks before or after this eclipse that happens in February 27th. So you're going to be looking backwards a couple of weeks from there and a couple of weeks after. Pay real close attention to what's going on around the family house, your home, literally, and your family in that time frame. And mom, just keep an eye on mom too, because she rules the fourth house. You're going to get an indicator as to what changes necessarily are going to be happening with the family or happening with the home in that time frame in February. You're going to get an idea, okay? A lot of what's going to be happening is focusing on the future, like I said, because you've got Saturn that's going to be finally leaving your sign. It's been working with you for the past couple of years where you may feel you've been limited and restricted. It's doing so on purpose, maybe to help you with your finances, getting those under better control, with your love life so you get that better under control. Whatever it is, it's trying to help you to control yourself. Because like I said, naturally by Jupiter, you're going to want to go beyond and you're going to push beyond those bounds and sometimes overdo it and not even recognize it, okay? Yeah, so now's the focus on the future, letting go of the past, especially if it's things that you're dealing with that are fourth house related. Okay, we're letting go of past issues that have to do with the home, with our family, with our childhood. The fourth house has a lot to do with our early childhood, so you could be finding a lot of those heavy items from early childhood that you've been carrying around all these years that are kind of like an autopilot program that you run on. Those types of things are going to have to be dealt with this year as well so you can move forward and move ahead. Okay, sensitive baggage, it says that it needs to go. So you may be contemplating a new move, Sagittarius. I mean, I see that happening, or you may decide to improve the conditions where you are, okay? A lot of what's driving you to want to move is perhaps to run away from these issues, okay? I'm just going to point blank say it, all right? These things are making you want to run from the past of some sort, okay? Because a lot of this has to do with past issues within your home. So you're either going to get clear insight in February if this is something that you really do need to leave, if it's a situation you need to be away from, okay? Or if it's a situation that needs to be worked on and improved by letting go of those past baggages, okay? And just resolving the issues and staying here, okay? You're going to find that very easy to go with at that time frame at the end of February, because that eclipse has to do with the South Node. It's aligned with the South Node at that time, and the South Node in astrology is the past. It's the karma from the past. So a lot of these things that we find, maybe it's not necessarily the home yourself. Maybe it's all the clutter that's accumulated in your home. You hold on to these things and it's like literally like toxic baggage that builds up in your centers as well and literally prevents you from moving forward because the universe is trying to bring you things and you're holding on to everything from the past. Nothing new can come in, right? It can't. So maybe decluttering is the process. Maybe it's not decluttering the physical property in your house. Maybe it's decluttering your mind and your heart of old baggage that's there. Let it go. You've outgrown it, okay? Sagittarius, this is when you do pull in that Jupiter that expands. You push people to move beyond their limitations. You inspire other people to have faith in themselves. This year, Jupiter's going to do it for you to do the same, okay? Definitely a lot with home this year, thanks to those eclipses. So let's move on to love, okay? Let's move on to love for you, Sagittarius. A lot of it, what's going to be happening is in that summer time frame for you. April 21st to June 20th, Mars is going to be going through Gemini. Gemini is such a social sign. So I would keep an eye out for new people coming through if you're single, okay? Because it's going to be the time to act on some new dating possibilities. Go outside of your comfort zone a little bit, okay? Because I think that's where these people are going to be coming through. You have a lot of networking that's going to be happening. We're going to be getting to that next year. But there's a lot of new people coming into your life that create these new networks. And through these networks, you have opportunities. And this is one of them where they may provide you with that connection, with that romantic person that you're seeking, okay? If you're already in a committed relationship, expect the communication to be increased and in a way that's going to benefit you both, okay? New plans for the future is really what it's going to be about at that time. Better communication, which leads to better plans for the future. Because remember, we got Saturn working with you for the rest of this year, trying to stabilize that family life for you. All right. July 5th to August 1st is going to be the sweetest period in your love life this year, okay? Really look out for those opportunities in that time and embrace them, okay? They're a gift from the universe. Love is by far the greatest gift that the universe gives us, going in and out of that heart center. That's the best time frame for you. And another thing, too, to keep an eye out for, and I think I have this written in here later, but I'm going to say it again. Oh, yeah, it's coming up here next. Venus in the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm going to say it now. Venus goes retrograde, okay, from April 4th until May 15th, right? And Venus is the planet of love and money. And when it's retrograde for these 40 days, it gives you a chance to really look to the past and issues when it comes to your love and when it comes to your money, all right? Now, this is going to be a time to really get those plans figured out with what you want to do if you're in a committed relationship, to fix things, to move forward in a positive manner. But this is also a time frame where you may find, if you're single, that someone from the past is coming back. Keep in mind, Saturn. Keep in mind, Sagittarius, Saturn's been going through your sign. It's been maturing you. It's been maturing the situations in your life. If you have somebody coming back into your life, you are going to find that you are in a better place now than you were with them in the past. You're going to be able to handle that relationship in a better sense, and so are they, okay? You're going to intuitively know if it's something to proceed with or not, but just keep an eye out in that 40 days for somebody from the past to appear, or issues from the past in general for the remainder of the Sagittarius groups. But so anyway, we're going to pull that into this here with career too, okay? Because now we're moving on from love to career. And September 5th to August 22nd, you're going to be really motivated to tackle more challenges when it comes to those goals in your career, okay? Especially towards the end of the year, in the Virgo new moon that happens in September, because it's an earth sign and it represents new beginnings. That represents new beginnings in work, especially because Virgo is all about work, daily work too. So I would find that the mindset has shifted. You're setting those new goals for the year. I see that activity really happening and the new beginnings happening for that come the end of summer and into mid-October, just in time for that Jupiter transiting into Scorpio, which we'll get to in a moment too. But so in general, with that happiness, like I said, that Venus retrograde, like I was saying, where things are from the past, we're looking to the past with money, we're looking to the past with our love, that is happening in your 5th house. And that 5th house rules things that bring us happiness. It's all about restructuring the way that what we look at is what makes us happy. Maybe you're finding new things make you happy now through this whole process of having Saturn go through your sign. And that's something that happens every 12 years. Okay, so this is a major thing for you. This is a new phase in you, in your outlook, and how you operate in your goals. This is such a wonderful time for you. So in that process, you're going to restructure the way with how you see what makes you happy in this lifetime. Venus retrograde is really going to start bringing that and shedding some light on that too. This could also be a time with other 5th house issues, not just what makes you happy, but romance, the romance in your life. Really looking at that. Children that are in your life. Maybe it's just the actual physical activity that you do, exercise, things along those lines. You're really rethinking those things and working on setting some plans for the future when it comes to those as well. So, all right. What else is there? Push to take action. Yes. Traveling. Aw, you Sagittarian folks, you love to travel, don't you? You know, you rule the 9th house naturally in the zodiac wheel, and the 9th house is all about, like I said, expanding the horizons of others. And you know how we do that? We explore beyond those horizons, and we travel, whether it's physically traveling to new lands and learning about those cultures there, because you're all about learning. That's what the 9th house is too, is about learning. It's not just physical travels, but it's also mental travels as well. So you may find that this year, it's going to be a year of a lot of traveling for you. That's really increasing because your Jupiter is going through Libra, and it's all about traveling, not just of the body, but of the mind as well, okay? You're really traveling and searching, because that's what you do. You explore and you search beyond your bounds. for a search for new meaning and purpose in your life. It really is. It's just a year for that. Your desire to travel to these new lands and kind of suck up their cultures and learn how they work is really going to help inspire you to improve whatever it is and expand beyond the limitations that you've had to face since 2014 as Saturn's transited through your sign. Okay. Definitely a desire is going to be hitting you come February 11th when you have this eclipse happen in your ninth house of travel. Okay. So an old chapter ends and a new chapter begins, and it brings freedom to follow your heart and make your bigger dreams come true. Because it is. It's all about expanding these things and really getting in touch with your spiritual side. Maybe rethinking your religious side and your religious beliefs and how those things are, and liberating yourself from that baggage of the past that may be stifling you and preventing you from really achieving these larger dreams and the things that are trying to come in. Definitely increase in faith and spirituality this year as you move through that as well. So now we were talking about Jupiter a lot, right? Your ruling planet, okay? And it's in Libra, and that's going through your house, the 11th house, which it's all about friends, it's about networking, it's about large corporate structures, and it's about the bigger dreams that we have, whether you're asleep or the dreams that you have in your life for setting goals. A lot of networking this year is going to be happening for you, okay? When Jupiter goes into Libra, this is a 14-year cycle, okay? And so it's been 14 years since it's been here for you. So that means it's been 14 years since you've really had an opportunity to expand yourself in a larger network of people, like-minded people that are into the same stuff you are, okay? Now that opportunity is coming back for you to really stretch out and spread your wings and do what it is you do. They're going to help you really achieve a lot of goals, whether it's professional or personal. They're going to help you. God is connecting you with these wonderful people coming through in this cycle. Okay, shoot for the stars. Dream big. Don't limit yourself on your dreams right now, because right now the universe is listening, and it's going to bring the people through, and you're going to know. You're going to feel it, and you're going to know like you know that these people are going to help you. And look out for new friendships too, okay? This is the time, remember, Jupiter balances the scales in our life, so you are going to find that not only in those romantic relationships, because Libra is very focused on close, committed relationships, but it's also those close friendships that we have. And as those scales balance, we're going to find which ones need to stay and which ones need to go, and you are going to know that. Now, keep in mind that the people that go, you've already outgrown them, and they're on their own path. You can only help them so much. But the new friends that come in are focused on building you up and not taking all the energy from you, because you spend so much time uplifting them. At some point, those people got to start uplifting themselves. And you're going to find people that want to uplift you, and you're going to do that in return, and then wonderful things happen. So, especially August 26th through the 31st, keep an eye out, because I feel that not only is that going to be a really pivotal time frame for networking capabilities to be coming through, but you're also going to be rewarded for some past achievements that you're done. You're going to get some recognition for those things that you've done in the past come the end of August and going into that Labor Day weekend time frame. Fitting time to get some kudos for the things you've done. So like I said, this is the big one here. We have Saturn and Sagittarius, right, from 2014 until December of this year. That's that 12-year cycle that goes through. It's an intense period of just personal growth you've been through since 2014, okay? A lot of large-scale things have happened that have really overhauled your life in various ways, getting you to rethink the way you love, the way you spend your money, the way you work, the way everything in your life. Unfortunately, you've had to really be forced into these restrictive things that have made you have to reprioritize and plan for the future in new ways like you've never really had to before. A lot of endings have happened. Thing is, this year, as Saturn leaves your sign, the new beginnings start. And you are the one that sets these new beginnings by setting those new structures, okay? Keep an eye out May 11th through the 25th and November 5th through the 14th, okay? May 11th through the 25th, November 5th through the 14th. These are going to be breakthrough periods, okay, in terms of these things. These are the things that really lead to the new happiness, that lead to that fulfilling life. And you know how that is? By breaking those old patterns, breaking those chains of the past. Keep an eye out for those things. I'm not sure what they're going to be. They're going to be various for every one of you, one of Sagittarius, but you know what it is. that's the time frame to keep an eye out for it. Another thing too is that your planet, Jupiter, is going to be moving into a new sign on 10/10. So it moves through Jupiter and Libra, and it's balancing those scales when it comes to your friends and the organizations you work in, and finally bringing you some balance like it hasn't in networking capabilities and dreams for 14 years. That's great. Now, where is it going to move on to? It's moving into Scorpio, and that's the 12th house. The 12th house of the subconscious and the unknown. Finally, dumping of all these things that are in the subconscious, purging all of those old, outdated programs that just run on their own and you don't want them there anymore. They're going to be gone. Jupiter blows it up. It gets rid of it. It's going to be a time to really step back in that time frame, though. You may find over the next year that you really kind of want to isolate yourself a little bit more, taking a time to step back and focus on your subconscious self. Maybe not necessarily hide yourself away, but this is going to be a time when Jupiter, the planet that is very spiritual and religious, is going into by far the most metaphysical of the houses. It's a very karmic house. The 12th house is the end of the chart. Okay, this is where everything ends. It's the house of endings, they say. And a lot of karmic things come in there too. So you maybe find that you're doing some past life regression to understand this area of yourself better. Let go of some karmic cords that are holding you here, whether they're with people here now or they're from previous lifetimes that you're carrying into this lifetime, vows of poverty, any of these things, you're going to find to let them go. Okay, let go of those change. But you're really going to be focused on heightening your intuition, working with the metaphysical realms. You're going to be a little bit more interested in working with energy healing, having energy work done on you, keeping those energy centers clear, and ultimately that's going to strengthen your intuition as you truck along and really start living in what this life purpose is you're meant to do. Because you've already made the networking ties and all of these things throughout 2017. Now is the time when that intuition is going to lead you to what it is you need to do so you can better serve others like God intended for you to do here. So definitely your subconscious, not just purging, but it's healing. Okay, I don't want to use the word purging because you've already been working on that as Saturn's been blasting through your sign and limiting a lot of things for you over the past couple of years. I see this as a subconscious healing. You're letting go of old childhood wounds, you're letting go of past attachments, and ultimately now Jupiter is going to bring that expansion and heal that for you. So now we're going to look at specific birthdays for y'all Sagittarian folks. Now, your birthday might not be in here. Everything I said, though, just now really applies to you. Every Sagittarius is going to apply to. Keep in mind that each one of us has a specific birth chart and a progress chart with what the planets are doing in the skies now that may affect you slightly different than what I've said here. Contact me for a reading and we can look at your personal chart to see what Jupiter, your ruling planet, is balancing the scales in your life for this year and what it has in store for you. But in particular, for just in general, these birthdays are going to be having some pretty big impacts this year. So let's get to this. If you have a birthday between December 13th and the 22nd this year, Saturn, that limiter, is conjunct your sun. You're going to be feeling those limitations a lot more than others, okay? A lot of testing. A lot of testing has been done to you, and it's going to kind of keep on going throughout this year. Recognition of those testing limits. But the thing is, through that testing, a lot of maturing is happening in ways that it hasn't for 30 years. Okay, this is something that happens every 30 years for this to happen. Total new person comes out of this at the end of the year. Setting new boundaries with yourself and with other people is one of the big things of this transit. You're bringing old limiting structures to an end. Okay, you're like, this stuff, no more working. Everything like we said before, this affects you even more than the next guy, December 13th to 22nd, folks. And you're going to be creating a space for emerging a new personality to grow. The new white light within you emerges, and the more mature you comes through. New responsibilities come as a result of that. With great power comes great responsibility, and you have been blessed to have that in the time frame you were born. And this year is going to make a big difference for that. So now if you are a friend of ours, December 2nd through the 7th with a birthday in that time frame, it's going to be letting go of things that just don't support you on a spiritual level. Okay, you know why? Because Neptune is going to be squaring your sun this year. Neptune is the planet of illusions and dreams, spirituality, and metaphysical connections. So you're going to be really letting go a lot of those, especially how we were talking about that before, about maybe there's some past religious ties that you're ready to let go of and perhaps maybe venture out into the world and check out new things. This year especially is going to be doing that for you. Exploring the areas of your own intuition and metaphysical connection with God and rediscovering that spiritual meaning of what it means to you. Okay? Spirituality versus faith. A little bit different, right? Yep, intuitive side emerges a lot more. And the thing is to keep an eye out for, though, okay? I just want you to be extra careful because Neptune on the shadow side of it does bring illusions and deception at times. So just there's a really thin line that's between fantasy and reality, and it gets skewed when Neptune squares your sun like this. So just keep an eye out, not to get those rose-colored glasses, okay? So just keep an eye out for those that may be trying to deceive you, or make sure, above all, you're not deceiving yourself, okay? Ask for that because your intuition is going to be so clear and so heightened. Ask for that inner guidance. Follow your inner awareness and ask for your spirit guides and for God, for Mother Mary, for anybody that you know on that spiritual realm to help you better understand. So definitely keep an eye out with that. So, and another one too, I should have just included this with that one. So our December 13th through the 22nd friends, the ones that have all this major 30-year cycle stuff happening, not only do you have that happening, but you also have Uranus, the planet of unexpected things, remember, trining your sun. It's making a harmonious connection with your birth sun. So this year, where you are going to be setting these new boundaries and you're going to be really understanding the old structures that need to die so the new can come in, you know what's going to be pushing you is Uranus to free you, to liberate you. Definitely going to have a taste for freedom and independence like you haven't in a long time. But it's not just that. It's not just about freeing ourselves from the past. It's about just being the real, true, authentic you that's within, okay? You're a fire sign. You are driven to lead. You are driven to empower. Definitely empower others. Helping others to find that fire within themselves. And this year, that fire gets stoked in you like you haven't seen in a long time. So that is it, my Sagittarius friends. Now let's do a little bit of a reading like I do every week. In my weekly synergy readings, but this one we're going to do for the year, okay? Now your archangel is Archangel Raguel, the archangel that is all about relationships, okay? He is a Sagittarius angel, and he helps bring harmony in relationships. That's what he be doing, okay? So he is always there with you, helping you to understand and work through these relationships better, especially that relationship with yourself, so you can see how he's going to be a major benefit to you this year. Now, what I'm going to do is call through to the spiritual realm and see through these stones another angel that is also going to be working with us as well, or an energy or an idea, whatever it is they want us to know to keep in mind throughout 2017 for the Sagittarius. Here. Hold on. Yep. Isn't this a wonderful one? Okay, so this stone is the coolest darn thing. Look at how it's got all these neat little fossils in there. I can't remember the actual name of this, and I feel like a dork now for that. But the main thing that this stone is it's like all these little tiny files that are in the Akashic record when we sleep that we can access that tells us where our soul has been through previous lifetimes. They're having you do that this year. Not just going through those souls of the previous lifetime, right, what you've been up to, but what that's going to entail for you this year, and helping you to remember what it is you need to do on this earth, this time frame, okay? A lot of that this year, and connecting with those people from these previous lifetimes that are coming back now to help you as well, remember, because it's about networking this year as well. So let's ask for Archangel Raguel to give us a little bit of an indicator as well what his main idea for the Sagittarian energy this year is. He wants me to shuffle it 9 times because 9 is what you rule in the zodiac wheel, the 9th house. It has to do with religion and philosophy, traveling, studying, the higher mind, going beyond those limitations, and bringing luck, right? That's like one thing I didn't say out of all of that. This is where luck starts coming in, is with Jupiter. It's the lucky planet. Where's this luck coming for everybody this year? Stop, 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 he says. By releasing. How is about that? That is so very true. Okay, well that makes sense now, doesn't it, Sagittarius? You know where that's going to be at. Where's that luck going to come in by releasing the past? Like we said so much of, I don't even know, we need to go into it. You know what that needs to be released, right? Letting it go. And because of that, this is the end of a phase. 30 years, 12 years, whatever it is. It's the end of it. It's the end of it. And it's time for that spiritual transformation, and it's time to move on. That's what Archangel Azrael says here. She is the angel that helps transition souls from this realm to the next. She's going to do the same for you as well. Okay? Not just, I'm not saying the angel of death's coming to get you this year, but she's taking you from one phase of yourself to another this year. And in the process, Sagittarius, you are going to emerge a lucky and wonderful, expanded new version of yourself. So, I wish you all a very wonderful and blessed 2017. Thank you.